Hey guys, I just wanted to do an initial impressions on my new Shadowlight 45 from Outdoor Vitals. This is the 45 liter pack. They also have a 60 liter pack. The difference is about an ounce or so, but they're both under 2 pounds. So this is the dark blue color. The other color they offer is an Arctic blue, and it's more of a very light blue color. I really like this dark blue. The other color looks great too. And it's made with a new type of fabric here. This is a super durable Spectra aerobic ripstop nylon. It is not waterproof, but it is water resistant. You can see on the bottom here, the fabric is built up just a little bit more than the rest of the areas. Also on the bottom of these side pockets here. So this particular pack comes in a couple of configurations. It goes by torso size. So there's a short, a regular, and a large torso size. This is the regular torso size. You can also customize your hip belt size. So these hip belts are removable, and they also come in a few sizes. This is the large size. So I want to go through some of the structure of this pack. So the first thing is there is an internal aluminum frame here. It's a 24-inch aluminum frame. Very durable, very sturdy, super sturdy. There's also a back pad here that is also removable. You can remove this and use it as a sit pad or something else like that. Like I already said, the hip belts are also removable, and they have these nice big pockets on them. You can see it's marked with the L for large. So this is a roll top design pack here. You can see for a 45 liter pack, there is a lot of room in this thing. It almost looks like a 60 liter when you look at it this way. If you really wanted to max this thing out, you could probably put quite a few things up here. I don't really have anything in here at the moment. It's more just for so it's full. A couple of things I always hear a lot of people talking about on this pack is, number one, the 2 separated compartments on the outside. A lot of the newer ultralight packs just have one big compartment, which take it or leave it. I kind of like these separated compartments because I'm an organization person. I don't really like everything floating around all the time, so this is pretty cool. The other thing, the reason these are separated is because you can access the pack through this long zipper here, which some people seem to like, some people seem not to like as much. But if you need to get to, just say this is my tarp here, I can get to that without having to move my food and everything else out of the pack. Or if I want something towards the bottom, whatever order you want to, you can pull it and zip it right back up. And that's pretty cool. I like that because everything might not always fall in the order you want it to. So it's nice to be able to get whatever you want. One of the first things I have to say about this pack is when I put it on, it fit me like a glove. This thing is awesome, super comfortable. I've only worn it around the house so far and haven't had it completely loaded with everything yet, but it is extremely comfortable. I mean, you have tons of adjustment. The shoulder pads are super comfortable, super soft. The hip belts are very wide. You can see the hip belts are super wide, so they fit to my body well. They don't cut into me or anything like that. You have some load adjustment here, which is nice to keep the weight off of your shoulders and kind of onto your hips. There's also a chest strap, which is nice. I have to say, initially, my initial impressions on just the build quality is everything was excellent. I don't see any rip stitches or anything like that. No voids in fabric, or it's not bunching up in any weird areas. All these guy lines are nice. No complaints on the build itself. One of my personal favorite things about this pack, other than how comfortable it is how low these water bottle pockets are. So it's pretty hard to tell sitting on the table, but these things are very low. One issue I've always had with a lot of, especially ultralight packs, is being able to reach my water bottles while hiking. So what I've usually done is put some kind of water bottle holder on the shoulder strap. And that's fine, but it's really nice to be able to use what comes with the pack as it was intended. One of the other things that's really cool is these other big pockets right above the water bottle pockets. I like this because, like I said, I'm big on organization, and usually on other packs, This is kind of just wasted space. It's usually flat, so I like to be able to have something else here, and this can hold, I mean, this can hold a full cook system. And I think I have mine on the other side. Yeah, I have my whole cook system up here on this other side. And one of the cool things about this is there's supposed to be built-in fabric to where if you max this thing out to its capacity, it will not eat into the inside of the pack. So that's a really cool design there. Also, I mentioned these guy lines here. These are super cool because if you have the 1 liter smart water bottles, these are not the 1 liters, but if you have a 1 liter or something taller, you can strap these guy lines over the top and kind of keep them from tipping out. Although these are pretty tall water bottle pockets, you know, if you're kind of bending over or something, they won't fall out. So that's another thing that happens to me sometimes is you lean over and your water falls out or something like that, and then you have to pick it up and try to fish it back into your pocket, and it's really tough. So I really appreciate that. One concern I have about this pack, and it's probably the same on a lot of other ultralight packs that I haven't really handled much, is this material here is nice and stretchy. My only concern with it is I don't know about the durability. It seems durable, but I can see myself maxing these out a lot, and hopefully they don't tear, because if they tear, then they're just gonna be, you know, hanging off the pack. But time will tell on that. As far as I can tell, this pack is built really well, so I don't think that there will be an issue there, but time will tell on that. The other thing I like about this pack is, if you can tell, it's kind of built in a rectangle shape, so it's very straight up and down and wide here. I like the shape of it a lot because it's really good for organization. The way I organize all my packs is I like to put everything horizontally and layered from the bottom to the top, so it kind of maximizes the space and allows you to customize your load a little bit. This will allow you to put your heavier stuff towards the middle here, and then your bigger stuff like your tent and things that you want to get at the end of the night or when you get to camp at the bottom, and you'll be able to have a more even load distribution, and it makes for a comfortable carry. I really like this thing. And the way I have it set up right now, I don't want to get too much into the way I have it set up because I just threw some stuff in here and it's not exactly set up. I haven't actually taken it out yet, so I can't attest to how it works in the field, but this is kind of how I have it set up a little bit. So I showed you this before, but you can kind of see I have everything in dry sacks in here because this is not waterproof, which is not a big deal to me because dry sacks are really lightweight. So down here I have my underquilt. Above that I have the tarp here and rain fly, and then I have a food bag here, and then on the other side here I have my sleeping bag back here, and they're all laying horizontally and kind of very organized, and I like that a lot because I can open this thing up and just pick out what I want, pull one thing out. A lot of people will try to put a pack liner in this thing, and that's fine. Some people like the Nylofume pack liners. To me it's kind of like a trash bag. I get really annoyed with loud crunchy noises, so it's one of those things that just bothers me. And also, the thing I don't like about the pack liners is if you have several things in there, you have to pull the whole pack liner out to get access to those things, whereas in these dry sacks, they're completely waterproof and sealed off, but they're individual pieces. So if you just need your sleeping bag, or if you just need your underquilt, or my hammock is even in one. This is currently set up for use of my hammock, so my hammock's in one, my underquilt's in a separate one. Maybe I'm just going out on a day hike and I don't really need an underquilt. I can just grab my hammock. Everything's not together, it's all separated, so I like that. I've heard a few people complain about the zippers and operating with one hand. On this particular one, this zipper, I've had no issues with it so far. I can't remember what other zipper people were talking about that was a little bit tough, but I can kind of appreciate a little more rugged zipper. It doesn't feel cheap. I don't think that's something that's gonna break. I already kind of alluded to this, but these backpack straps are pretty plush, they're pretty nice, they're very comfortable. Sometimes on an ultralight pack you might get something that's very thin and feels kind of cheap, and that's kind of where they make a little bit of weight savings. I don't think that's the case here. It feels really good. Has this kind of breathable mesh down here. The buckles on the load lifters and the buckles here, all of these buckles, they don't seem cheap. So everything snaps together well. on the little bit of adjustment that I've done to this thing. None of these buckles have slipped or anything. Everything stayed the way I've adjusted it to. This is another thing I mentioned earlier, but I can kind of pull it out here. This is the removable back pad. This is it. It's just a little foam pad. It has these kind of baffles in here to allow your back to breathe some. And you can definitely cut quite a bit of weight off this thing. If you take this out, the frame out, and these hip belts off, you could really have kind of a bare bones ultralight pack if that's your thing. So one complaint I've seen from people is this hole up here. This is for a hydration bladder hose. And if you don't use a hydration bladder like myself and you just use water bottles, this is kind of an easy way for water to get into the pack. I don't mind it. I would rather it not be there, but I don't mind it being that way because some people do like hydration bladders. In my opinion, as long as you have everything in dry sacks or an Ilofume bag, then you should be good to go. So these hip belts are very large, and they're supposed to be large enough to hold a full-size smartphone. In my pocket here I have a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So let's see. And it definitely went in. It's pretty tight, but once it's in there, it fits perfectly. I could easily see myself holding my phone in here, or my GoPro, or I mean, there's room for granola bars, pretty much anything you need quick access to. So I really like these. So one thing I forgot to mention is this little bungee cord over here. This thing cinches, but it also stretches quite a bit, and there's a little hook down here. I'm assuming that's for a set of trekking poles, so you could easily put a set of trekking poles on here, kind of cinch them down, have them in this loop down here, and have them on your pack if you don't need them at the moment. So that's pretty cool. If you want to see my full review of this pack in a few weeks, then make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next video.